Alright guys, I am checking in with you. I told you the other day that I was going to go over the things I picked up from the thrift store, but I hadn't had a chance to do that at this point. So I'm just getting around to it. This is the next day. Sorry, filming this thing myself, so it's a little bit different. But this is the next day. After going to some thrift stores, also I had a Facebook Marketplace house that I went to. Actually, there was a lady that I've spoke with in the past, and she had messaged me, and she had some other things I might be interested in. So I went there to see what else was there, and actually found some stuff that I know would be good. So I'll just go over some of these things that I have, and we'll see what's here, and kind of go over what I think it may be worth. Alright. It's a table load. All of this, and in here, we'll start on this end. It's a little bit easier. These are Skylanders. I looked up a little bit of these. I still don't have an absolute value. I do know that this is connects to the Wii, and there's a couple Skylander Giants and Spyro's Adventures. These are a couple of Wii games that this all connects with. There's a book bag that came with it, and a load of figures. There's probably, gosh, 25-30 figures in there. I know some of these are worth some money. It looks like there's cards that go with it as well. So we'll see what all's in there once I get a little bit better idea. I also picked up these Miss Pac-Man. These sell for about 15 bucks. There's actually 4 of these. I've listed some. Probably gonna end up putting some of these on Amazon. You make about $5 extra on Amazon on those, but I've listed one already on eBay. Also picked up these. I actually have some more of these. I'm probably going to do it in a bigger lot. This is for the Wii U Infinity. It looks like all the characters are in there. From what I saw on the back of this thing, it looks like this thing comes with the Incredibles characters, the Pirates of the Caribbean, Monsters U, and this Cars playset. It doesn't have the Lone Ranger or the second Cars, but just from what I've seen, all of those are a part of that same lot of stuff that I got from the lady. She also threw in this printer, Brother HL. I looked this thing up. There's some sold comps about 40-50 bucks. She said that this actually has a piece that's broken on the back of it, so I gotta look that over, see what it is. From the same lady that I got all of that stuff from, I got this G.I. Joe. I did look at some of the comps of these. This case actually is worth about $35 itself. From what I've seen, there's 6 figures in here. Nothing super special on this. These guys aren't like super rare or anything, but just the standard guys. But I think sets of these, about 4 or 5 guys, are selling for about 25 bucks. And then, man, there's all kinds of little guys. G.I. Joe. There's some vehicles for the G.I. Joe. There is all kinds of weapons for the larger guys. These guys over here, and accessories for both the larger and the smaller guys. Backpacks and stuff, parachutes, all kinds of accessories with this. So I'm thinking even like shoes and web feet. So I'm thinking there will definitely be some value in these. I actually paid $30 for the whole lot, and it's got all of that stuff as well. The only thing about buying these things that are small like that is, man, it takes a little while to list and to just figure out exactly what you got. I might end up just lotting some of this stuff together and selling it that way. Just kind of skim through it and see what's the most valuable. Because sometimes, as I learned with the action figures, man, it takes a while to figure all those things out. What's what. Also, there's a little Tom Tom in that same buy. Like I said, I picked up this whole lot from her. The Pac-Mans, the G.I. Joes, and the Skylanders, and the Infinity guys, and the printer. So got all those. I actually paid $100 for all those things, but I think I'll definitely probably at least triple my money. These shoes I picked up from a thrift store. They're actually Reebok, and they've got show a little wear, but it looks like all that'll clean off, and the bottoms look fairly new. So I think just being in the box, they got a little dirty. These are interesting shoes. They're the CrossFit shoes. These things actually sell pretty well. CrossFit trainers. So I picked these up for $4. I think I'll probably get somewhere around probably 25, 30 at least. Maybe upwards. I think some comps had them show them for more than like 50 or 40 or 50, depending on what it is. In that same lot that had that other stuff, this is actually a Power Wheels part. I haven't done a lot of research to see exactly what it is, but she had that thrown in one of the boxes, and I couldn't figure it out for a minute. Also, these Wii accessories were in that same lot of stuff that I'd picked up. And I stopped at a thrift store and got actually 3 guitars. I've stuck batteries in all these. The guy said he didn't know that if they work or not. I got 3 guitars, the drum set, the pedal, and this wire that connects the drums up. But I picked up all 3 of these for $10. This one I know works for a fact, the Xbox one. The other 2, I weren't able to get power on them yet when I put the batteries in, so we'll see what happens. I do know this pedal, you can sell the pedal itself for like maybe $20, $25, because sometimes the drum kits are missing that. This drum kit, I couldn't get the power to come on either. So I'm probably just going to list these things as a lot with parts, or maybe separately as parts only, parts or repair. Also got this Wii. This is a Wii with U-Draw, and it's got the whole setup there. It does power on. I haven't hooked to the TV yet to make sure it reads disc. I stuck a disc in, and it took the disc and sounded like it was reading it. So we'll see. I did pick up a few hats from the thrift store. This Goofy hat, I figured would sell. Got all these hats for $1 a piece. This is M&M hat, trucker hat. The insides look good. It looks like these things haven't been wore really. Also got a Peterbilt with the American flag. This is also $1 on that one. Picked up this glove. I think I ended up paying $4 for this one. This thing sells for about $20. So just another quick find, thrift store find. This one, you can see the tag on it, $5, and it works. Sansu. This without remote sells for about $35–40. With the remote sells for like $53 to $60. So I'm actually going to look for a remote and see if we can't up the value a little bit on that thing. These are all just, like I said, thrift store pickups. So other than the online that I found, just a few things that we'd picked up. Also picked up a NC State kids blanket with the hat. So I picked that thing up. That was in the bins at the Goodwill. And also got a polo. Let's see. Yeah, polo extra large, like quarter zip. This is wintertime, so hopefully that'll sell pretty good. But other than that, just business as usual, for Sorry about that, guys. For me, just kind of going through the day to day with this and trying to figure out, you know, what to find, what to pick up, what sells, what doesn't. Just a kind of a daily thing. Just trying to figure it all out. Trying to see how to list things, what's the most optimal way to list them. I am finding that if you're not careful buying a lot of smalls, there is profit, and profit is greater if you're breaking things down. But you kind of have to weigh your options, time versus profit. Like, what's your time worth? So for me, like for instance, all those little things that I've picked up, man, going through each and every one of those, you might, you're mining for gold, essentially. Like, you might find something in there that's really valuable. But sometimes just listing the lot of things. And I picked up a tip the other day in watching YouTube, just that sometimes you can put some things, if you're not real sure of the value, like of what you got there, say like the lot of those Skylanders. If I don't go through each one and see exactly what they're worth, I don't really know. So sometimes you can list those things, like other people have said, on auction, and let people kind of value them. Let people, the people that know, just by looking and saying, wow, that Skylander there is worth this much, they'll kind of set the value. If it's something that they're interested in, they want to buy, sometimes that might be the best way to go about it. I know for me, I've picked up some big lots recently that are going to take some time. I have a whole huge box full of Thomas the Train, Thomas and Friends. And man, those things, like, to sit there and go through 50 different trains, that's going to take you a few hours to get that done. So it's kind of, how much time you got to do those things. Myself, I am still part-time at this. This isn't my 9 to 5 every day. This isn't something so I'm doing a few hours here and there. I'm going out sourcing, usually about twice a week. Usually I try to go on Tuesdays, because like I said, I shared earlier in this video that this will probably be a part of, that on Tuesdays there's some sales at some of the local thrift stores, and then on Saturdays typically is the only yard sale day where I live. So we go out and hit up, probably 10 or 15 sales, whatever's out there within a decent drive of us. We're doing that. And then outside of that, I have been to some other towns locally, and within an hour and a half drive, to hit up thrift stores. I've been checking Marketplace. I actually have made several purchases from like Facebook Marketplace, local yard sale sites, even Let Go. Found some things on there. OfferUp, I haven't really had much success. Seems like the people that are selling on OfferUp are selling about what eBay has things listed for. Typically online yard sale, it might just be somebody trying to get rid of some things. So usually they list that a little bit lower. But for me, as we figure this thing out and see what's the best way to move forward, I have learned a lot in the past month and a half, and really just continuing to strive to learn more. I do believe that this is something that, you could make a viable income at. Obviously, you do have to enjoy it. I do like the treasure hunt, to be honest. I do like going places and being like, wow, I had no idea that would be worth what it is. I had no idea that, things in the past, I've been to sales and yard sales and thrift stores and all those things, for pretty much my whole life. I've checked those things out. I'll go in and see if I need to pick something up. But in the past, I used to just look for things that I'm interested in. It's a whole different game when you're going in and you're looking for things that everybody's interested in. And, it is worthwhile to do a little research before you go in. You can do research, obviously, on YouTube. That's why we're putting together these videos. And a lot of the guys that you watch in these videos are guys that are just going about their day. So, for us, we're we're kind of learning as we're going. My wife is helping me on the sourcing side. She goes with me to yard sales and thrift stores, and she tends to have a little different perspective than me. So it's good to have that. But also ask questions. You know, like the other day, I actually went to a couple of local antique shops, like vintage stores here locally, and it's off season for those guys, so they've got time to actually talk with you a little bit. And if they're willing, like for me, I stopped in a place that does a lot of consignment, and I just started looking at some things and saying, look, you know, I don't really know anything about the small, like, kitchenware, glassware, that kind of stuff. I don't know anything about that stuff. And one of the ladies was kind enough to actually talk to me a little bit about what's valuable, what isn't, some brands to look for if I'm at the yard sale. Because basically, yeah, I asked her if she does any buy and sell there, and found out that she does. She does tend to pick up things. So for me, that's a great resource. If people are willing to share, if they're willing to possibly look at purchasing, so you can find things at yard sales and go straight there and flip it, or you can find things that you know are valuable because someone else has helped you along the way, and you can actually list those things yourself on eBay. Obviously with eBay, you're not necessarily competing with the local antique shop. You know, those guys have their own business model, whereas on eBay we're pretty much global, if you want to be, or nationwide at least. So for me, you know, those are the things that I'm looking to expand my knowledge. And also, you know, it is good resources. Like if you need to find somebody to flip some items that you either don't have time to list, or you have don't have as much knowledge as what you should. But we always are looking for that hidden gem, you know, that treasure that is unexpected is what we continue. But it doesn't hurt to educate yourself as much as you can, and help you in the long run make more profit and make more sales by just knowing a little bit more about what you're doing. That never hurts. So just want to take a few minutes and share with you guys. Like I said, I'm new to reselling, new to the YouTube world, but if you like what you see or want to follow my adventures as I learn and grow, then feel free to subscribe and like the channel or like the video. If you have any comments for me, if there's any advice you would give me as a new reseller, a new YouTuber, I'd be happy to hear from you. All right, thanks guys. We'll see you next time.